the Bucks, knocked out by the eventual winners, the Miami Heat. The people's win, the people's champs, the Miami Heat, in the second round, 4-1, embarrassing, a gentleman's sweep. And they'll probably do the similar thing this season. Owen, Owen's back again. I didn't do that.
I'm back. Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Hi, Owen.
Yeah.
For the Bucks. What's going on?
Yeah, too early to say what's going to happen in the next playoffs. But this season the playoffs was nothing short of embarrassing. They probably should have got swept by Miami, but they got lucky with Giannis getting injured. So
yes,
yeah, they should have got swept.
Season was regular season's always brilliant. I mean, Giannis won MVP again. All good things for the Bucks, but when it comes down to the playoffs, they kind of dropped the ball. They fumbled the bag. Second round knockout is not what anybody would have expected from the organization, and
especially going up against Miami Heat.
Yeah, which they had the superior dominance with the best player in the league, Giannis Antetokounmpo. But there's with this, what we were saying with what we were saying about this won't take too long. There's not much the Bucks need to do really.
They're not really built to succeed in playoffs basketball, but there's one move they could do that could really save them. And Giannis might only have one more season left in Milwaukee, so they kind of have to go all in. There's not many options. Some say Bradley Beal. I just don't get how they can get him without giving up Middleton and every single draft pick they have for the next 200 years. But I think one realistic option is Chris Paul. They probably won't have to give up too much to get him because he is a very old man who's due to regress probably this season or next season. So I don't know what the trade might involve, but Bledsoe is definitely, he needs to go. He can't play playoff basketball. Every year it's the same. He just collapses. He's such a letdown. So if they could trade him, Dante DiVincenzo, and a couple of first-round picks, that should be enough to get an old man like Chris Paul. I think that could, you never know, that could be the move to really push them on into and get to the conference finals, maybe the finals, and then that might be enough to convince Giannis to stay.
Being an OKC fan, the only trade I want for CP3 would be Brook Lopez and Giannis. Everything else is no.
A lot of reaching.
Give me Giannis for CP3.
Yeah, nice.
No, yeah, Bledsoe, meh, I'm not a fan. He's just kind of I always forget about Bledsoe being a basketball player. If you ask me to name all the point guards in the league, I would definitely name Darius Garland and Ntilikina before I named Eric Bledsoe. I would name George Hill, and they play for the same team. But yeah, he's probably you said that everybody seems to just want CP3 this season. Every team just could we possibly get CP3 or Bradley Beal? They're the two most wanted players.
Yeah. I think Chris Paul's reputation was really saved in OKC because he was quickly becoming known, similar to Jimmy Butler a few years ago, as sort of a toxic teammate who was bad for young players. But this year in OKC, I mean, he completely proved all that wrong. He proved he's a good team player, and he's good with the youngsters. Bit of a dodgy sentence, but Chris Paul is. He probably would be a perfect fit alongside Giannis. He's exactly what Giannis needs. Someone who can take over games in the playoffs. Because we know Giannis isn't that type of player. He's not the type of player to say give me the ball, I'm going to go get a bucket. He doesn't do that because in the playoffs, the game shortens down, it closes in, and he doesn't have that much space to work with, and he struggles. So I think Chris Paul is probably about as the best player that they could really realistically get this offseason.
Giannis isn't the type of player that a couple months or a month before the playoffs, he's not going to sit there in the locker room and the interview is going to come over to him and say, what's the playoffs going to be like? And he's not going to say, well, you're going to see playoff G for Giannis. Unlike other players who, when they activate playoff mode, it goes, well, maybe that's why you shouldn't do it for, because players activating playoff mode never ever goes well.
Yeah.
When LeBron did it 2 years ago, Paul George did it when he was at OKC. It's not a good thing to say. Rookies, though, well, what's their pick and what's their options?
Well, they have Indiana's pick 24. With the Bucks, like, do they need to use a young player? Like, I think this pick would be better used in a trade, probably for Chris Paul. Come draft day, I don't think they use this pick. They probably trade away for some sort of role player. I think that's probably the better use for it.
I will happily accept their pick. There's one thing that me and OKC, I'm not gonna say all fans, but majority of the subreddit enjoy is picks. Give me the picks. Sam Presti will do wonders with them.
Well, you don't have a first round pick this year because some team took it.
No, that would have been our second. We still have one.
You don't have one.
You do have
one.
Yeah.
You do have one. Yeah.
Yes.
For some reason, I had I didn't have. I have one named OKC and the other one named Thunder. Very confusing.
Poor from you.
If you have the Bucks pick, you'd have pick 24 and 25.
Perfect. And we can get
two
excellent players. Hopefully. Yeah, just Bucks is kind of like, just go and do it again. You'll probably finish top of the East if Giannis keeps playing as he does. Even if they don't switch out Bledsoe, the regular season's still going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, Bull will be up there for sure.
It's just making that next step to actually winning the championship.
Yeah, and if the season doesn't go to plan, where do you see Giannis going in free agency? Because he's leaving. I think he'd leave.
Yeah, well, obviously, if you go back to when was it when the Bucks played the Warriors and Curry left him a jersey and a note, but then you've got Miami, which a lot of players do people want to go to Miami these days. Imagine if he went to the Warriors.
Yeah, I saw Toronto as one of the top options. I'm thinking on paper maybe you could do a sign and trade with Siakam.
Yeah. Oh, the Bucks would be so bad.
But then again, it's better than getting nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't think Giannis cares about leaving the Bucks with something or nothing. Do you think Giannis would be hated the same levels as KD was if he moves to Golden State?
But that's the thing. When KD first announced that, KD was the golden boy. Everyone loved KD, and I just remember thinking at the time are people really gonna root against KD? Because I can't imagine what that would feel like. But then KD ended up embracing the villain role, and Giannis, I feel like people are starting to hate him because whenever players become good, people automatically hate them. I don't know why. I don't know why people can't just appreciate players for how good they are. But yeah, if Giannis goes and joins a super team, I think he will become very much hated. Maybe not to the LeBron level, but probably to the KD level.
What does a Golden State team even look like? Clay, Curry, Giannis. That's mental. I don't like the thought of that.
I don't know how they would do it. I think the only way they could get it done is if they keep Andrew Wiggins and then use it as another sign and trade.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can get it done.
It'd be crazy, but the Heat is like I said, the Heat is another option. How do you see that working?
Again, I don't think they have too much salary, but then Olynyk's contract is up soon. I think next off season. Myers Leonard's big contract is up this summer, so I think Miami, they are positioning themselves to be able to make a run at Giannis. Personally, is he the right fit for that team? Who knows? But then again, he's such a supreme talent. You may as well give her a go and try and sign him.
Giannis and Bam together as a backcourt.
Jimmy, Bam, and Giannis on the court at the same time. There's no shooting there.
Yeah.
So come playoff time, they're gonna get found out. But then in the regular season, that's a 65-win team. So
unless they go if what you're saying about the no shooting with Butler, Giannis, and Bam, but what if you put Hero and Dunk on that court?
That's still three players who can't shoot at all.
Yeah, This,
They'd be
this,
fine in the
this is
regular season.
This is heroin dunk 3 years into their
But
NBA
then,
careers.
yeah, Duncan is already one of the best shooters in the league. He's not going to get much better than where he is right now. Harrow, that's the thing. If Giannis goes there, it takes the ball out of Harrow's hands. I think he can be that, that Butler sidekick. He can be the guy to average 20 points per game. If Giannis goes there, all of a sudden Harrow is kind of not wasted because he'll still play an important role. But we'll probably never get to see the best of Harrow.
Yeah. I'm not a massive fan of Giannis purely because, like, I wouldn't want him in one of my teams. Like the way I would organize a team to play.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
same.
want to play like Giannis in that team. So every time
Yeah.
I look at Giannis and look where he'd go, I just kind of like cringe. I'm like, I wouldn't want him to ruin the amazing 3-point play of Clay and Curry. I wouldn't want him to kind of ruin the
Like I
grit of
see,
Miami.
I see Giannis as a more athletic, more coordinated version of Pascal Siakam. That's what he is. He's taller, bigger, more athletic, and he doesn't fall over all the time like Siakam. He's just a better version of him like that. And I don't think you can win with play when your best player is a power forward who can't shoot. It's tough. It's tough.
Can you see him making the step and becoming like a decent 3-point shooter?
Well, LeBron did it. He was never a good shooter, and over time he's become better and better to the point now he can take half-court shots and make them. But when you look at Giannis's shooting form, it's so ugly. Like, it's going to take a lot of work for him to just become respectable. But he's shown he has the work ethic, so I wouldn't bet against him. But it's going to take a while.
Well, his main goal now is to be the only Antetokounmpo brother who, to have a ring, because obviously Kostas has his ring now, showing up his big brother Giannis.
But they are having a movie made about him. Disney are making a film about Giannis's life.
Good luck finding actors tall enough.
Yep, they ain't gonna find one.
Yeah, Bucks, just keep doing what you're doing, pretty much.
Well, nah,
but it's fun. If you want to be
if you want to keep
kind of
Giannis,
risky,
you have to get better.
Yeah, it'd be a risk to try and like mix it up a bit, but it's a risk you probably have to take.
If they keep it the same, Giannis is gone. I feel like they should have kept Brogdon over Bledsoe.
Yeah, probably.
Mm.
Yeah. Have fun winning the East again, Bucks.